In the last century, the temperature of the planet Earth has raised at an unprecedented rate, the process known as global warming. The heat resulting from global warming is absorbed by oceans and also results in melting of glaciers and ice loss from massive ice bodies such as Greenland and Antarctica. These effects altogether create one of the main impacts of the global warming, which is the rise of the sea level around the globe. Sea level is currently rising at a rate of more than 3 millimeters per year. And even in an optimistic scenario, it will be risen half a meter in 2100 compared to its current level. This poses an enormous threat to the millions of people living in coastal areas. Precise and accurate estimates of the sea level change are obviously of utmost importance. These estimates should be based on observations of the sea level. Since the early 1990s, we can use satellite data for that purpose, with the advantage of having a high spatial resolution and high precision. Another important data record comes from tide gauge observations. These have the advantage that they can continuously observe the sea level and have been doing so for over a century at many locations along the vulnerable coastal regions.
Here we are at the tide gauge of IJmuiden, the city very close to Amsterdam. What you see here is a very simple device. It's a metal tube which goes into the water, and inside there is a wire that measures the level of the water. The wire goes up, and at the top of this building it is measured, the height is recorded. The other thing you see here is a little red square, and that actually is a very important part of the tide gauge. Let's go and have a look. So what you see over here is a very important part of the tide gauge. It's very simple, it's only a brass bolt, but actually this bolt is used to relate the height of the water level here to other points here in the country. So actually it is needed to link the tide gauge to a vertical reference system. Let's go up and see inside what it looks like. So here we are at the inside of the tide gauge, and what you see here is the wire where the floating device is beneath here, coming up and going via this little wheel over here to this recording wheel. And this is the actually recording device. Here the level of the water will be stored and sent digitally for further use. If we are here and we record the length of this cable, we're not there, we have not linked it to a vertical reference system yet. So now we need to link this to a reference point somewhere else. And we do that by this little bolt over here, this little block. The top of this block is the reference of this particular device. And from this block, we then transfer the height to a point over here, which is firmly fixed in the wall of this building. From here we go to the outside, the bolt that we just looked at, and from there, via leveling, we can connect it to the rest of the country.